Hello, my name is Anne Zanzucchi. I'm teaching professor in writing studies, and I'm also the Associate Dean for the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. So early in my career, I looked at digital media and how students and faculty were working with computer-mediated environments to teach writing. Some interesting questions that came from that research involved, should we be looking at new skills for working in digital environments and writing? And that's been a persistent question in my field in terms of thinking about how to both teach and evaluate writing in new forms. Another area of instruction and teaching and research that I've worked in are voice and lived experience projects. And so I've partnered with faculty and librarians to work on group interviews. And through those interview processes, we've been looking to document and learn more about the lived experiences of students as writers. A third area of work that I've done is in public writing and working with communities and community educators on writing in public spaces. I'm especially interested in the lived experiences and writing experiences for young writers, especially young writers who are interested in contributing to public forums and affecting change. I grew up in a family with scientists, and to my parents who were especially my father, a recent immigrant to the United States, there was a lot of emphasis on how practical the sciences were and how that was really a professional future. And it was very hard to convince them that joining the humanities and being part of the study of how people think and write and work together as a society was going to be a valuable feature. Ultimately, the irony of this is that much of the work that I do was really inspired by my parents. As professional scientists, they often struggled to communicate with the public and connect with the public and achieve all kinds of educational connections. And that's something that I study and I work on with my students every day in terms of what are some ways to reach the public, what are the research stories we want to tell. And so it's been really challenging working with my parents' expectations, but it's also been inspiring in terms of how I ended up focusing a lot of my work and connecting with people across many fields in order for writing to be part of things. Something that can be really challenging in terms of writing for young people is that in American culture, we think of writing as a talent. You're either very good at it naturally, or it's something that you can't participate in. In truth, writing is highly practiced. It's something that's a reflective process, and it requires discipline. And so often when I work with writers, they haven't yet identified as being a writer. They don't feel as though they belong in an academic community. And so we spend a lot of time thinking creatively about authentic writing experiences. So in thinking about what our campus was like at the beginning, everyone knew each other's name, and it was a small campus, classes were small, there was a lot of community. As our campus is growing, I have mixed emotions at times. It feels exciting to see so many new buildings and so many people. And to not recognize people sort of feels like we've arrived. We're a bigger campus, we're thriving. So looking to the future, I hope that there's something of that kind of community as our campus grows and remains a small campus in certain ways in terms of students maybe knowing their department really well, and that's where there's a new kind of tight community. And I hope as our campus grows that we keep that tradition. I think that's something that could really make UC Merced a really exciting place for undergrads and graduate students if students had a lot of opportunities to be part of